Down in the cannon, let's go down. Oh, K9, you hard, baby.
A bark, a bite, a overhand right. Welcome to K9 Boxing. And it's your dog, Cornelius K9 Bunchers. And I got a special guest that will be tapping in shortly. SB in the build. SB in the building. And we gonna talk about the greatest sport in the world. Boxing. Definitely. Boxing. So hope y'all guys are having a good time. And on the 4th of July. Comments. Yeah, yep. So definitely. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, I don't believe has signed the deal yet. Why? I don't know why, but they haven't. From what I know, from what you know, from what we know, it's not a done deal yet. And, you know, why is we waiting? Definitely, why is we waiting? It should have been done, happened already. Matter of fact, they should have fought like yesterday. Like yesterday. Hopefully, it's sooner than later. Word on the streets is that they will be fighting in July. No. They will be fighting in September or October or November. Hopefully this year. Because I want to see it. Definitely I want to see it. Now, will it be Tommy Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard, the first fight? I don't think so. I mean, you know, both guys are very skillful. They're the best skillful fighters today. That's why everybody want to see that fight. The best fight that can be made today, right now, is Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. There's no other fighter or no other fight bigger than that fight. That's the Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather from yesterday. The difference between Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, when they fought, they were past their prime. The difference is that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are in their prime. And that's why I want to see the fight now. Now, I ain't going to say that if they fight later, that they're going to be able to do the same thing Manny Pacquiao and Floyd did. Made more money. The fans, the networks are not falling for that. So they got to fight each other right now. Not later, right now. If they don't fight this year, it won't be a fight. You will not see Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence in the ring if they don't fight this year. Because what the fans have gotten from, or what the fans don't have, especially from going through with that Manny Pacquiao-Floyd fight, they don't have patience. And why should they? And make sure when y'all tap in, y'all whoop that trick, which is the like button. Whoop that trick, which is the like button. But lots of fans believe Errol Spence gonna win. And lots of fans they believe that Terrence Crawford gonna win. I believe, well, I know that the fans gonna win. If they sign to fight this year, oh my goodness, it'd be real good for boxing. The best fight that can be made. It's bigger than Triple G and Canelo Alvarez. It's bigger than Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, if Tyson Fury can get past Usyk. It's the biggest fight in boxing right now. There's no other fight in combat sports that's bigger than that fight. So I'm hoping that we get that fight. Now, Floyd just did an interview with Fight Hype talking about the fight gonna happen when he say it's gonna happen. Stop it! Why does this man have to always be a diva? Why? So, but yeah, Floyd just being Floyd. And we don't need that in our life. How can you say you for the fighter, but at the end of the day, it always comes back to it being all about you. It's all about the fighters, bro. You don't work, you don't eat. And when you paid your dues, I don't care if a fighter used your name to get to the top. Well, if you his manager, if you his promoter, he's supposed to use you. Just like you're using him to make money. So Gervonta Davis is going to sign with Al Haymon. Or Gervonta Davis is going to stay with Al Haymon. So when you see Floyd promoting Gervonta Davis, don't mean that he has the exclusive rights to Gervonta Davis. And remember, Floyd is a promoter. Remember, Al Haymon is an advisor. So being an advisor under the Muhammad Ali Act, Al Haymon cannot be the manager, the promoter, the trainer. You can only do one at a time. So guess what? He's going to need a promoter to promote a certain fighter. He's going to need a promoter to promote all fighters. That's how come when PBC throws shows, you never see Al Haymon. You may see Sam and you might think Sam Al Haymon, but he ain't. But guess what? It's going to say up under Mayweather Promotions or up under Warrior Promotions because Al Haymon can't do both under the Muhammad Ali Act. So better believe, and a lot of people are going to get it wrong, once Gervonta Davis fight and it says under the Mayweather Promotions, they're going to be like, I told you Floyd signed Gervonta Davis, he ain't go nowhere. And they're going to be wrong. Stop it! They're going to be wrong. So this is the news, and this is what you get, the behind the scenes information, knowledge. I don't know if you saw Belly, but he said, who sent you? He was like, knowledge. That's right, knowledge. And that's what we got, wisdom. Appreciate everybody in the chat. When y'all tap in, y'all hit that like button. We got Alberto Fitness. Oh, we had Sub-Zero tapped in first. DJ, happy 4th of July to you too. It's all good, y'all. It's all good in the hood. Definitely with an Errol Spence. This will be a perfect day for Errol Spence and Terence Crawford to sign a contract or to announce that the fight is done. It's going through. This would be the perfect time right now, today. It'll be the perfect time. But hey, it is what it is. They got their own agenda. Terence Crawford wants a 1-fight deal. PBC want a 3-fight deal. So will they come in the middle and probably make it a 2-fight deal? Now, it wouldn't be smart business for PBC to use or to have Errol Spence sign a contract to fight Terence Crawford for 1 fight. Let's say Terence Crawford wins. He's going to be able to take all of the belts, because Errol Spence has 3 belts, the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF. You think a smart businessman like Al Haymon is going to put his new cash cow, Errol Spence, in a ring with Terence Crawford, knowing that if he loses the fight and Terence Crawford is only signing a 1-fight deal with PBC, that he'll be able to take them belts to ESPN, to DAZN, wherever he wants to take them? Stop it. Of course not. He's not going to allow that to happen. So the only way we're going to get that fight is if Terence Crawford signed at least a 2-fight deal. But I think with Terence Crawford saying, hey, I only want to do a 1-fight deal, That's smart business because let's say he gonna do a 3-fight deal. Going into it and saying you're gonna do a 1-fight deal versus a 3-fight deal gives you room to negotiate. That's right. Room to negotiate. And for me to fight for you for 3 times, and you know, if I win, lose, or draw, you know, 2 more fights, or if I win, I still got to be there and fight whoever you want me to fight, you know, up under your umbrella, the money got to be right. We got to be talking about some serious bread. Yeah, some serious bread with no high fructose corn syrup in it. We want some real bread. Dollar bill, y'all. Yeah, dollar bill, y'all. So, you know, they got to actually announce the fight sooner than later, especially if they going to fight each other this year. I mean, real talk. Because we are in July, and time is not waiting on nobody. So if they don't announce the fight in July to be able to promote it for September, October, then we might not get a fight. We might not get a fight. I mean, the perfect sense, what would make perfect sense is to have them fight right before Christmas. Right before Christmas. If you know what I mean. So I just want it to happen sooner than later. I want to see Gervonta Davis in the ring with Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia. I want to see Errol Spence in the ring with Crawford. I can't wait to see Canelo Alvarez in the ring with Triple G. Clarissa Shields in the ring with Savannah Marshall. And I will be fighting my last fight September the 16th. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense at K9 Boxing. A bark, a bite, my favorite punch, the overhand right. Stop it! How long? It won't be long at all. The champ is here. On the 4th of July. No days off. You don't work, you don't eat. SB will be tapping in shortly to break down boxing like no other female in the history of the sport. We've been doing this boxing thing, me and the champ, together for 30 years plus. It's been a long, long time. Alberto Fitness, what's up, though? What up, James? Don't call me Cornelius, brother. K9, that's the name, champ. I don't go by Cornelius. Only people I went to school with can say Cornelius. Nobody calls me Cornelius. Hey, Cornelius? Stop it! Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. What it do, y'all? Yeah, hashtag dogs are us. How long? It won't be long. And then Terrence Crawford got so much heart. He says after he finishes Errol Spence, that he wants Big Bro, Jamel Charlo. Man, is he biting off more than he can chew? Stop it! I think he is. Hey, but it is what it is, though. As long as you can back it up. You know, one of my favorite slogans is, don't bark if you can't bite. At K9 Boxing. Shout out to my dog, Richard. We in the building, father and son boxing. Greetings to everybody. Flat Out TV, James Burrell, DJ, Alberto Fitness, Sub-Zero, Finish him. Let's go. SB, where you at, champ? Is Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford gonna fight? And would it make the numbers Manny Pacquiao and Floyd made? Pay-per-view buys? Is it the biggest fight in combat sports in the last 20 years? I'm talking about skill for skill. Because we already know black on black crime don't sell. If two black guys out there beating each other up, police might not show up. But let a white man or a black man be fighting each other. Guess what? Stop it! The police on their way quickly. And they're gonna use race as the reason for being there. They're gonna publicize it, and it's gonna be bigger than life. Now on the undercard of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, I want to see Chris Rock and Will Smith. Let's go, champ. I want to see them boys duke it out. Let's go, champ. And I'm rolling with Chris Rock. That's right, because Chris Rock, y'all don't know Chris Rock can fight. From what I heard, he just didn't want to whoop that trick. He didn't want to whoop that trick, that's all. Hey, he turned the other cheek. And hey, listen, I would have never let a man slap me in the face. He ain't had no gun on him or nothing. He just like, oh, Will, why'd you do that? Will, why'd you? Don't say nothing about my wife. My wife. But y'all swingers though, huh? Make it make sense. Wow. Life is different. I can't understand it. Hey, some I don't know. In other news, Jake Paul is giving Tommy Fury a deadline. If he can't get his together, he's moving on. And there will never be a fight between Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. In other news, KSI is about to step into the ring versus Alex Wasabai, August the 27th, on the Zone. And Canelo Alvarez says, Golovkin is an effing asshole. And he said, I hate that mother sucker. I hate that mother sucker. Stop it. Somebody going to sleep. Night, night, stay down. And Jose Benavidez said him and Danny Garcia are going to be a great fight because they both like to bang. Bang, bang. Night, night, somebody going to sleep. And Marat Gaziv, his return is targeted for August in Siberia. Now, with Garcia training Anthony Joshua, will that give him the edge in the fight against Usyk in a rematch? And what will Deontay Wilder do? Will he retire? Or will he step back into the ring? Just a lot of news. A whole lot of boxing news. And King Kong, Luis Ortiz, spent a step in the ring against Andy Ruiz Jr. But check this out. On pay-per-view. Stop it! They gonna be fighting on pay-per-view? That's what's holding the sport. We just can't put no anything on pay-per-view. Definitely when y'all tap in, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I would definitely appreciate that. So we all we got. Cause C3, what it do, champ? Oh, Sub-Zero said Chris Rock used to date Jada Pinkett. How you know what's going on? Well, you in a third party. Wow. It's a dirty game. Ladies and gentlemen, SB is in the building. What's up, champ?
You been waiting for me?
Yeah. All my life. All my life, champ. In the landslide of the boxing divisions, what fight you want to see the most?
Crawford Spence.
Crawford Spence?
Crawford Spence.
Over Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney?
Of course.
Wow. So make it make sense.
Everybody want to see Crawford Spence over Gervonta Davis and Haney.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Is it bigger than Floyd, Manny Pacquiao?
Crawford Spence?
Yeah.
You tell me.
No, I'm asking you the question.
Of
You
course. Of course. Floyd Mayweather fought Pacquiao when they both wasn't in their prime, especially Pacquiao. After Pacquiao been knocked out
tell me. Wow.
by Marquez.
Wow.
I don't know if Floyd took his advantage over Pacquiao by fighting him at that time. But of course, these guys, Crawford and Spence, are fighting in their prime. Pacquiao and Floyd did not.
Wow. So you think money-wise, this is going to be a bigger fight than Manny Pacquiao and Floyd?
No, I don't think so.
But do you think they should get that money that Floyd and Manny Pacquiao got, knowing that it's going to be a way better fight?
Well, neither one of them is big as Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Floyd's a big name. He put that work in to become a big name. Most of the work outside the ring and talking. So, no. Nah, neither one of those fighters are big as Floyd. Or Pacquiao.
Okay,
Or
somebody.
Pacquiao.
I was thinking, like, what about homie? Exactly.
So, nah.
Yeah.
Now, they fought, and it was a great fight. You know, both guys was on the canvas. It went down to the wire. We got a winner, but it was a real good fight. Then the second fight can become big as Floyd, but I don't think the first fight will.
Right. I think because they're the same color, too.
Yeah, Pacquiao bring a lot of fans.
Absolutely. He got a country behind him. You
Now,
agree?
one thing a lot of people are saying that I've been hearing lately is they've been saying that Terrence Crawford is a small guy. He's smaller than Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is going to just run right through him. Now, I disagree with that. First of all, I think Crawford has filled himself out in the 147-pound division. He's not the 140-pounder everybody keep looking at him as, even to this day. He fought, I believe, in my opinion, Sean Porter is the strongest 147-pounder. And despite, the performance was close. I'm not talking about the performance. I'm talking about brute strength. He handled Sean Porter pretty well. So if Porter, the strongest guy at 147, I don't think he's going to have that much of a problem or maybe any problem with Errol Spence. Because look how he handled Sean Porter. And I know styles make fights. I'm not talking about the style. I'm just talking about the strength. And look how he was able to handle Sean Porter. So everybody keeps saying he's gonna be too small for Spence. I doubt it.
Well,
And I think it's a 50-50 fight. I can't pick a winner. It's clearly a 50-50 fight. Now, if you team Crawford, team Spence, of course you're gonna pick your guy, but on the surface, it's a 50-50 fight.
well, I think that Crawford got Errol Spence leftovers, and Sean Porter wasn't the same after that fight, knowing that he was gonna retire, regardless win, lose, or draw. I think that Crawford caught him at the right time, and before the stoppage, which I think was premature, he was losing the fight. Terrence Crawford was losing the fight. So, I mean, I call it ace and a spade. I just think Errol Spence is, like you say, is going to be too big for Terrence Crawford.
I didn't say that.
But I'm saying you said that he ain't going to be. I'm saying he is going to be.
See, I'm not talking about performance-wise. I'm not talking about if Crawford was losing the fight. If that's your opinion, maybe he was. That's your opinion. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about performance. I'm talking about only strength, brute strength.
That's what I'm saying.
He handled the strongest guy in the division. Is Porter stronger than Errol Spence?
Yeah, he might be.
He is. He's the strongest guy at 147.
Who is?
Porter.
Why? Because he fought at 165?
No,
An
because
amateur?
he's a strong guy. He not only is he a strong guy, he fight an aggressive style, and he's a strong guy. So if you got a strong guy and you got a strong guy fighting an aggressive style, it seems like it would be even more force coming towards you and even more strength that you have to fight off. Let's use, for instance, Andre Berto. Andre Berto is a strong guy, but he doesn't fight like that. He fight behind his jab, and he fight with quickness. He don't fight aggressive like a Sean Porter or you, for an example. There are two different fighters. So I'm talking about strength. He was able to knock Porter out. Porter was bringing straight strength to him. I don't think Errol Spence gonna bring that type of strength to Sean Porter for everybody to keep saying that he's gonna win because he's stronger and Terrence Crawford is too small. I disagree with that.
Well, he didn't knock Sean Porter out. His daddy,
Well, they stopped the fight, but he dropped Sean Porter.
he stopped it prematurely. His dad did. And I don't know.
But that don't take you can't take his knockdown away because his dad. I agree, his daddy did stop the fight prematurely, but you can't take that knockdown away. He still knocked him down. Did he knock him down more than once?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, he hurt him. Yeah, he knocked him down, and he was hurt. And I just disagree with everybody saying that Errol Spence would be too strong for Errol Spence would be too strong for Terrence Crawford. I disagree with that.
Yeah,
And he was a wrestler. You know, the wrestlers are strong. Terrence Crawford was a wrestler.
yeah, that's true.
So that's going to help him a lot as well.
But he ain't never been hit by somebody as strong as Errol Spence. He got hit by Gamboa, a little bitty Gamboa, and was almost stopped. Stop it! It was almost over with.
I never said his chin wasn't questionable.
A little bitty
I
Gamboa.
was just saying the fact that people keep saying that he's going to lose. Some people, maybe the people that don't know boxing, keep saying that he's going to lose just off strength. And I think he got to bring a lot more than that to beat Terrence Crawford, more than his strength. Because that was a good comparison fight when he fought Sean Porter. Yes, it was his leftovers, Errol Spence's leftovers, but he still compared himself to Sean Porter's strength. And then you see the fight with Errol Spence compared himself to Sean Porter's strength. It was a different fight. And that Sean Porter fight was very close when Errol fought him. That was a very close fight.
Of course.
Till he dropped him. So
Hold on. You said it was a close fight?
wasn't it?
No. You talking about Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter?
Yeah, that was a back. Okay, well, it was a back and forth then. It wasn't like a blowout fight. If I can remember, it wasn't a blowout fight.
Yeah, you better do your homework on that one.
I gotta do my homework on that one.
Definitely, because I had Sean Porter at least winning by 2 rounds, so I wouldn't call that close.
You had Sean Porter winning by 2 rounds?
Yeah.
Sean Porter
Yeah.
or Errol Spence?
I had Sean Porter.
No, I'm talking about Errol Spence and Sean Porter.
Oh yeah, okay. Now that was a close fight.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, that was a close fight, but you gotta remember, Sean Porter was hungry at the time. He wasn't talking about being an analyst afterwards. He wasn't talking about retiring afterwards.
Okay.
When he got in the ring with Terrence Crawford, he was talking about retiring. That was his last fight. His dad even said it. I stopped the fight because Sean wasn't into it. Yeah, because Sean had another job. He was done. It was over. It's over. It was over.
Okay, so do you think by him having the mentality that he want to retire, I don't know why I keep cutting off, but do you think the mentality of Sean Porter want to retire have something to do with his style and his aggressiveness and his strength? That has nothing to do with it.
But go look at the fight.
He brought the same strength he brought when he fought Errol Spence. Sean Porter brought the same type of aggressiveness and strength to the fight as he did with Errol Spence.
And he was winning way better, looking way better when he fought Crawford than he did when he fought Errol Spence.
But see, you keep saying the performance. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about strength. My argument is Terrence Crawford will not be too small for Errol Spence. He showed me that when he fought Sean Porter. Okay, let's say he was losing a fight. He handled the strength well. Sean Porter was putting the pressure on him, and he was posing his strength on Terrence Crawford, but look how he adjusted and then dropped the man. So obviously, if Sean Porter, the strongest guy at 147, and that didn't affect Terrence Crawford, that he adjusted and dropped his man, Errol Spence's strength is not going to pose a threat for Terrence Crawford. I think it's going to come down to if Terrence Crawford can impose his boxing skills and can, I guess, pick Errol Spence apart as a Mayweather, or will I keep saying Sean Porter, or will Errol Spence be able to walk Porter down and do him like he did Mayweather and Spurn, if that's how it played out? But we see Mayweather had a black eye. So who is going to pose their strengths on the night of the fight? It's a 50-50 fight, and we are going to see, should they fight hopefully this year, who going to have the better game plan, who going to be the better man that night. Because in my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight.
Well, in my opinion, Sean Porter is not the strongest welterweight in boxing. Ugas is stronger than him. Errol Spence is stronger than him. He might be the third strongest.
Hold on, you said what?
Ugas was stronger than Sean Porter.
Ugas stronger than Sean Porter?
Man, yes.
How?
He was bigger than Errol Spence. Go look at the fight. He was the only guy that I saw that done hurt Errol Spence. He almost had Errol Spence up out of there. You don't remember that?
I think he almost had Errol Spence out of there because Errol Spence dropped the mouthpiece and wasn't paying attention, and he got a clear shot on him. If he would have never dropped that mouthpiece and lost his focus and looked down on the canvas, Ugas would have never caught him in none of them rounds like he caught him like that. He caught him while Errol Spence was slipping.
But did he catch him?
Any man can be hurt if they hands down and not paying attention.
Hands down, man down. You already know what it is. He got caught. He got caught. Ugas is definitely.
He got caught when he wasn't paying attention, man. That's how he got caught. Ugas wouldn't have never caught him during that fight like that. He did hit him with a good shot right before that, which probably knocked his mouthpiece out. But come on.
So you think
I'm baffled that you said Ugas is stronger than Sean Porter.
Man, that dude is strong. Man, you see what he did?
Stronger than Sean Porter?
Man, listen, did you see Manny Pacquiao's face after he fought Ugas?
What that has to do with strength?
What? Go look at his face. You tell me what that has to do with strength.
It has nothing to do with strength.
It got a lot to do with strength.
I see timing. I see timing. I see sharp punches.
Power did that.
I see accuracy. I don't see strength.
Power did that.
Now, Manny Pacquiao is little. I mean, a lot of people is bigger than Manny Pacquiao.
I'm talking about the power game. Ugas is the only person that hurt Errol Spence.
We're
I don't
not
care if his hands was down or what.
I'm not talking about power. I'm talking about strength, because the issue is strength. Terrence Crawford will be too small for Errol Spence. Errol is too strong for Terrence Crawford. That is the argument.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about power. I'm not talking about strength. In my opinion, Terrence Crawford will not have an issue with Errol Spence's strength being how he did well against Sean Porter, who's stronger than all those guys at 147.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Power and strength go together like peanut butter and jelly. And they both gonna get bread, because peanut butter and jelly definitely go together with bread. So let's definitely agree to that. And I think the fans are gonna be the winner at the end of the day. Win, lose, or draw, I agree, 50-50 fight. Don't drop the mic, champ.
There you go. Danny! Tell him, Danny. Talk to him, Danny.
Stop it! Flat Out TV, stop it!
Talk to him, Danny.
They go, oh, take the girl side
Flat
every
Out
time.
TV, talk to him.
They go, always take the girl side. Stop it! Let me tell you something, y'all. Let me talk. Let me say something. Let me talk.
Go ahead. Talk
Errol
to him.
Spence is a beast. Anytime you almost lose your life and get back in the ring and fight against the top dog, well, nobody knocking at the door for Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a puncher. This man, listen, had eye surgery right before the Manny Pacquiao fight, and that's how Ugas was able to get that fight. The man wasn't together at all. That man stepped in the ring after his car accident. You can't do nothing but call him the truth. And got in there, and then he beat the man to beat the man. Wasn't nobody knocking at Ugas' door. I don't even know why Manny Pacquiao took that fight. I think Ugas, real talk, will give Terrence Crawford a hard fight. I don't even know if Terrence Crawford will be able to beat Ugas. And one thing about Errol Spence is he's a finisher. Look what he did to Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia done. He done retired. He admitted that the fight between him and Errol Spence took a lot of his career. Just saw the interview. Errol Spence is finishing cats. I'm talking about like Mortal Kombat. Finish him. Finishing cats. You hear me? Terrence Crawford didn't finish Sean Porter. Sean Porter was going to retire anyway. And Sean looked at his dad like, are you tripping? He stopped the fight like, bro, what's happening? I think that his dad was just a flat out fan. And at the same time, he knew his son ain't trained the same. I can guarantee you Sean Porter did not train for Terrence Crawford like he trained for Errol Spence.
Sean Porter was giving Errol that work.
Better believe that. Of course, because he was serious. He was focused.
Work.
He was hungry. It's a big difference.
So you telling me
Yes, I
Sean
am.
Porter didn't go into the Terrence Crawford fight to win? That's what you telling me? This man had fought
said that.
everybody.
I never said he didn't go in there to win.
That's what it sounded like.
I said he wasn't focused.
He wasn't focused. Why wouldn't he be focused? Because he was thinking about retiring? That's why? Nah.
Absolutely.
That man is a veteran. That man had fought all the big fighters at 147. He has experience with a daddy like his. Ain't no way he went in that fight not focused and ready to win. I disagree that because he was thinking about retirement, he didn't go in that fight to win. Nah. He tried to get Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford put that boy in his place. That is what's happened. That is what happened. And again, y'all, I just disagree.
Sub-Zero talking about something. Why Spence didn't do
Errol
Sean Porter
Spence
face like that?
It's not gonna do
Because
Terrence Crawford nasty.
They fought before the car accident. That's why.
I'm not picking nobody. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I can't pick nobody. I like both guys. I can't pick nobody. It's a 50-50 fight.
Man, listen. Well, hey, that's the reason why both guys are the A side. What? No. Let me rewind that. The A side is Errol Spence because he has 3 belts. So he should be the favorite and he should get the most money. 3 belts versus 1 belt. I got Errol Spence pound for pound #1 in the world. #1.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Sub-Zero. He fought it for that belt. He wanted that belt. It was something to fight for. By Terrence Crawford being a huge name, and they had a belt on the line. He could have been back. You think a guy don't want to make a couple more M's before he leave? If he'd have beat Terrence Crawford, he'd have made some M's. He probably could have got a rematch with Porter. I mean, with Errol Spence in the unification fight. The more M's. What fighter don't want to go out with some M's?
Man, I'm going with Errol Spence. I don't think Terrence Crawford has enough power to get the respect from Errol Spence that he needs.
You don't need power.
We don't need power.
You need more than power to win the fight.
He gonna need some power.
Tell it to Floyd Mayweather.
He gonna need some power.
Tell Floyd Mayweather he needed power against Diego Corrales.
Man,
that's a similar fight. That's a similar fight.
Yeah, that's
a similar fight. We got an
Floyd
aggressor.
Was small.
We got an aggressor, and we got a exceptional boxer. Floyd Mayweather, the exceptional boxer. Diego Corrales, the puncher, the aggressor. Same thing with Terrence Crawford. He's the sharp, exceptional boxer, and we got Errol Spence, the aggressor.
We're not gonna compare them to
with
Floyd.
The power.
We can't compare them to Floyd.
I'm not comparing them to Floyd. I'm saying it's a similar fight. So you just said power mean everything. It doesn't. Tell that to Floyd when he fought Diego Corrales.
Well, who else he fought like that though? Anybody can fight a good fight, one good fight.
Nah.
That's the best fight he ever had in his life.
Nah.
Everything else was handpicked. For Shane Mosley, past his prime. Miguel Cotto, past his prime.
See, you keep changing the subject. You just said it's all about the power, and it's not.
I'm telling you, he don't have the strength. Terrence Crawford, I don't believe, had the strength to get the respect from Errol Spence that he gonna need.
So all he need to do is that's all he need is that timing on his punches. He need to be sharp, and he just need to hit that man at the right time. He need perfect timing and great footwork. That's it. He do not need no power to beat Errol Spence.
I just disagree.
He can box him.
I disagree. But how you gonna box a man that's gonna be putting that pressure on you, who know how to cut the ring off? You don't give Derrick James enough credit. He's a great coach.
No, Derrick James a beast.
Okay then.
He's a beast.
All right then.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying
but
he gonna have the right game plan.
can't fight for you.
He gonna have the right game plan.
Can't fight for you.
He gonna have the right game plan. And I'm rolling with Errol Spence.
Spider Moose, I can't pick anyone, sir. Spider, I can't pick a person. I can't pick a fighter. I can't. It's a 50-50 fight.
Cause she don't want to be wrong.
It ain't about being wrong.
It's about being wrong.
It's about who posed their strengths on the night of the fight. In my opinion, it's not about being wrong. I'm not. If I don't think if I believe it's a 50-50 fight, why would I pick a person? I can't pick a person. It's a 50-50 fight.
Everybody thinks it's a 50-50 fight.
No, everybody don't.
Yes, they do. Everybody rolling with somebody though.
No, not
everybody rolling with somebody.
Okay, tell that to the person who believe that Errol Spence is too big for Terrence Crawford. They don't think it's a 50-50 fight. Tell that to someone to think Errol Spence ain't got enough experience and Terrence Crawford gonna box circles around him. They don't think it's a 50-50 fight.
What? Errol Spence got way more experience than Terrence Crawford.
Man, great. Let's talk about the opponents.
Yeah, let's please talk about the
opponents.
Let's
talk about the opponents because everybody keeps saying that like Errol Spence ain't fight that much greater guys than Terrence Crawford's fight. Even their opponents is kind of even.
Stop it. No.
Errol Spence, and listen, I'm not downgrading Errol Spence's experience and his opponents.
Please
so
don't.
I don't want to make it seem like that.
Please don't.
And I'm not discrediting him in any way. But didn't he fight Carol Book after Carol Book fought Triple G?
Both guys fought Carol Book.
Okay, we're talking about Errol Spence.
We talking about Terrence Crawford.
Errol Spence even admitted that Carol Book was his toughest fight. Okay. And he fought him after Carol Book had his eye messed up, his retina eye broken by Triple G.
Okay, and who was Terrence Crawford's hardest opponent? A little bitty 130-pounder in Gamboa.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody getting Errol Spence credit for beating Carol Brook, and he was already damaged. Didn't he come back down? Now I got to do my research. Y'all, chat, help me out, because forgive me if I'm wrong. But didn't he fight Triple G at 160 and come back down to? He fought him. He went up 2 weight classes to fight Triple G, came back down and fought Errol Spence. Is that how it played out?
Carol Brook ain't no bum. Carol Brook fought
and
both
everybody
guys.
gave him credit for beating a punished Carol Brook.
Who has?
So everybody keeps saying that Errol Spence record is way better than Terrence Crawford's. It's not.
No, everybody ain't saying that.
Yes, everybody is. Most people that I'm hearing saying if they not Team Crawford, they are.
Oh, no. And there you go. It's all about whoever you rooting for. Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence.
So you going to discredit this man to bring this man up. I'm not discrediting Errol Spence. I'm just saying a lot of people give him credit for beating Carol Brook, but he was damaged goods. Even though Carol Brook is a beast, but he went up 2 weight classes and came down after getting his eye messed up to fight in Errol Spence, defending his belt against Errol Spence.
Man,
how much credit does Errol Spence get from that?
Hold on,
wait. His second biggest fight was who? Mikey Garcia, a way smaller guy. He's beating up on damaged guys and smaller guys. He struggled against Sean Porter. It's a 50-50 fight. And then you look at Terrence Crawford, his resume ain't that steep either.
No.
It's a 50-50 fight.
Not by far. Terrence Crawford, and it ain't his fault, but he had nobody to fight at welterweight. He was fighting little bitty guys. He fought Jeff Horn. He fought Gamboa. I mean, he had to leave top rank because he had nobody to fight. All the big welterweights and great welterweights are at PBC. Terrence Crawford hasn't beat anybody on the same level of fighters that Errol Spence has beat. Errol Spence beat a focused, determined, hungry Sean Porter, not the leftovers.
After Sean Porter been in there with everybody. After he been in there with everybody.
Hold on. Let me talk.
You gotta say that part.
Let me say something. Let me talk.
Go ahead.
Errol Spence beat Ugas, who just retired Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence retired Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia ain't no slouch by far, and admitted that Errol Spence took some out of his career.
Of course, he's a bigger guy and he's a little guy.
Errol Spence beat the brakes off Danny Garcia, made him move up the weight.
After Danny Garcia fought everybody too.
Okay, and he ain't never been stopped. He ain't never got whooped like he did.
He got beat up though.
He ain't never got whooped like he did when he was in the ring with Errol Spence.
Right, and I give him credit. Okay, he gets some kind of credit for that. Ugas lost 4 fights before. Ugas caught Pacquiao when he was 40-something years old. And he came in, he's a right-handed Pacquiao preparing for a southpaw, came in like a week notice and fought Manny Pacquiao. A 40-something-year-old Pacquiao.
Hey, listen. You sound like you rolling with Terrence Crawford.
No, I'm not. Nope, I'm not. It's just people keep saying Errol Spence's resume is so much greater than Terrence Crawford. They always downgrade
I ain't never
Terrence.
said that.
I'm not saying you.
Okay.
They always downgrade Terrence Crawford's resume. It's so easy to break down Errol Spence's resume, though.
Yeah. But no, I'm just telling you, though. I mean, a fool gonna say what a fool gonna say. Listen, you can look at the who Errol Spence fought and who Terrence Crawford fought. Now, Terrence Crawford got more wins. He got 30-some wins. Errol ain't even reached 30 yet. But the competition was totally different because all the great welterweights are signed with PBC. That's one of the reasons why Terrence Crawford left Bar Arum in top rank. And he just sued Bar Arum because he couldn't pull off the fight between him and Errol Spence. So stop it! Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford.
Faith in the cross, Errol Spence fan, clearly. Because what I'm saying is first of all, it's a 50-50 fight. I'm not picking either fighter. I like both fighters. I'm not picking either fighter. That's all I'm saying is people sit up there and they praise Errol Spence's accomplishments and his fighters and the people that his resume. They do that, but then they downgrade Terrence Crawford's resume as if Errol Spence's resume is so much better than Terrence Crawford's. I mean, how do I have zero substance saying that? Make it make sense. You want to come up on a platform, you can. I'll drop the link.
Hey, Brandon White.
So you can help me understand
what style was terrible.
So you can help me understand what are you talking about, because I mean, what am I saying? But, you know, Danny got it right.
Never. Hey, they just showing love. Listen.
It's all good.
They showing love.
Let me say something. Hold on. Let me say something real quick. Let me just make this point real quick. Because check this out, y'all. Couple years ago, I said Jermall Charlo resume was not good at all. I said that. K9's chat, oh, how you gonna let her say that? What she's talking about? He fought Julian Williams, blah, blah, blah. He the only fighter, he the only guy that, and Julian Williams was a 50-50 fight on paper. He beat K9 when K9 was 42 years old. Injured K9 for the IBF title. Okay, I said, I challenged Jermall Charlo's resume. 2 years later, everybody's challenging his resume. So it don't really matter what the chat say, because I know when I'm on one, I'm on one. So it doesn't even matter, because I said that 2 years ago. Now everybody's saying it. So it's funny. It's real funny to me. Go ahead, chat. I just had to say that. I don't think I know it all, but I do know I got 20-something plus experience in boxing. I do know that, but I don't think I know it all. I'm just a voice of my opinion, like everybody else voicing their opinions. That's all. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna admit I'm wrong.
That's gonna be a good fight. That's one thing I can say. And you know, we gonna agree to disagree, but I believe that Errol Spence's resume is definitely better than Terrence Crawford resume, and I give Errol Spence the advantage in experience by far. He's fought the better competition, and he is, I believe, more ready to fight Terrence Crawford than Terrence Crawford is for Errol Spence. Now, if Terrence Crawford can get a fight with Keith, one-time Thurman, another good welterweight that was real good in his prime, win, lose, or draw, and definitely I believe he'll win, it will give him the experience I think that he's going to need to be able to defeat Errol Spence. And then you got to remember, Terrence Crawford ain't fought in a minute. Errol Spence just fought. So what's going to be real huge is rust. If I was Errol Spence, I would try to make the fight ASAP, because he just fought. So he going to be sharp. Terrence Crawford, I don't think fought in a year. Everything is going to play out. Yeah, it's been a minute. When was the last time he fought?
Since he beat Porter, it hasn't been a year that fast.
Man, time ain't waiting on nobody. So, yeah, on paper, it's a 50-50 fight. But timing is going to be everything. Rust can cost you in a big fight like this. Somebody must go. And listen, right now, I could be feeling like, okay, Errol Spence gonna win. But later on, who knows?
Have a great day.
Because at the end of the day, I ain't getting paid if Errol win. I ain't getting paid if Terrence win. I'm just telling you from what I see. And you know I'm a southpaw killer. Now, advantages in speed, I'm a roll with Terrence Crawford. Advantages in power, I'm a roll with Errol Spence. So they both got their advantages. Now, Errol Spence has been with PBC, Al Heyman and them, the longest. So he's loyal. So don't you think that if it's a close fight, even if Terrence Crawford is signed with PBC, they're going to get that belt to Errol Spence, and they're going to say in the new, but we already know if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So If it's a close fight, it's gonna be a draw, because they can stand to make that much money, even more the next fight. Can you imagine if Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao in their prime and it was a good fight? We'll be seeing Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather too. We couldn't see it because the first fight was boo-boo, because they fought past their prime. Now, if they don't fight Errol Spence and Terence Crawford before the end of the year, we would never see that fight. The fans are not going to be patient like they was with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And listen, we all got our opinions. Sectors say Crawford will sleep Spence. Hey, we got our own opinions. I don't know, he could be right. Willie Green, I agree with you, said Errol is going to beat Crawford up. Hey, I'm feeling that. I believe that. As of right now. All the legends got Crawford winning, Elijah said, but they can't fight for him. They can't fight for him. You can't fight for him. I can't fight for him. His family can't fight for him. Hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. May the best man win, but as of right now, today, on the 4th of July, I got Errol Spence winning. And I ain't talking about by a decision or split decision either. I'm screaming, stop it! Real talk. And y'all can agree with SB. Don't show SB some love. She live in the chat. I can't
show me no love.
Hey, look, I can't say she don't. I can't say she don't know the game. She do know the game, but I can see with his favoritism. See, we got a lot of Terence Crawford fans. You know what I mean? And I just, man, listen.
Skills pay the bills.
I just got respect, for
But it's a 50-50 fight.
This man almost lost his life, man. Just think if he wouldn't even been in this situation. I really had Errol Spence winning. This man almost lost his life, and I still got him beating Terence Crawford. That just shows you how good of a fighter he is. Man.
So you don't think his body not gonna break down none of these fights?
It already did. That's why he had to pull out the fight between him and Manny Pacquiao.
And you that confident in him?
Man, he got power.
Don't mean nothing.
Sector, he a warrior, Terminator. Just think about it, man. What I see in him is what his opponents see in him. Fear. They fear that man. That man coming at them boys with that power.
Faith in the Cross. Please tell us why you picking Errol Spence. Again, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I just want to hear what you think. Why would Errol Spence beat Terence Crawford?
Smart man. Smart man.
Sub-Zero says, Spence fans go check on his eye.
Wow. Man, Elijah, would you tell him? That man, listen, God got that man here for a purpose.
To beat Terence Crawford?
Hey, he here for a purpose. More than just boxing. But I don't think that man, listen, that man, ever since he almost lost his life, he's taking boxing serious. I don't think he drinking no more, none of that. We talking about reality check. Reality check. He done checked in, almost checked out, and I think he gonna chin check Terence Crawford. And I might not be getting an interview with Terence Crawford's trainer because word might be out, man. K9 said Errol Spence is gonna beat Terence Crawford. That's just my opinion. I ain't like I got no hate for neither one of them. I just, I call it ace to ace and a spade. And I believe what I believe. Now, let's not get it twisted. Once camp start, or we do the 24/7 all access, I could change my mind. I might see something in Terrence Crawford that might make me say, whoa, hold on. Hold on. I might see something in Errol Spence like, oh, man, he open. He open for an uppercut. Styles make fights. Terrence Crawford might be working on the punch that could be the equalizer in the fight between him and Terrence Crawford or him and Errol Spence. So, it ain't going to be an easy fight for neither fighter. The fight going to get won in the gym. Whoever got the right game plan, whoever imposed their will, is going to win the fight. If they fight before the end of this year, it ain't going to be no bigger winner than the fans. The fans are going to win because we're going to see Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather in their prime watching Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. We're going to get a glimpse of Tommy Hearns, Tommy the Hitman Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard won in this fight between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. I think we're going to get a glimpse of Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns. And what they say was the best round or some of the best rounds in boxing history. And Spence has a better jab than Crawford. But he can make adjustments like Crawford. I mean, shoot, we ain't never saw Errol Spence box because he ain't never had the box. He done took it to all his opponents. So just because he haven't made adjustments don't mean he can't make adjustments. Terrence Crawford was forced to make adjustments in his fights because he was down and almost out against Gamboa. So he had to make adjustments. So you can't say he can't make adjustments when he never had to make them.
Spence never fought a guy like Crawford. Crawford never fought a guy like Spence.
Come on, somebody.
50-50 fight.
I agree. And I do agree it's a 50-50 fight too. I agree it's a 50-50 fight as far as like them two getting in the ring on who I think gonna win. But I feel like the favorite should be Errol Spence because he has 3 belts to Terrence Crawford's 1 belt. So, do you agree with that?
I don't think. Wait, you said it's a 50-50 fight because wait, you said say that one more time.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, I say Errol Spence should be the favorite in the fight because he has 3 belts to Terrence Crawford's 1 belt.
That means something, yeah.
Okay, so he should be the favorite.
Yeah, the favorite to win, or the favorite in negotiations.
He should be the favorite for both.
No.
Yes.
He's the favorite because he got 2 belts.
No, I didn't say 2.
I mean 3 belts. Terrence Crawford didn't have the opportunity to get those belts. All the belts were under PBC. So Terrence Crawford didn't have the opportunity to get the belt. So he's the favorite to win because he got 3 belts.
At the end of the day, he fought the better opposition.
No way.
He got the belts for a reason.
You just said Terrence Crawford couldn't fight the better opposition because he was under the Top Rank. So
Top Rank was fighting dead men.
Okay, so
Terrence Crawford was fighting dead men.
How can Terrence Crawford fight the greater fighters, which is at PBC, if he's under Top Rank?
I mean,
he don't have the opportunity.
Tell your boss to make it happen.
So, in your opinion, that gives Errol Spence the advantage to win the fight because he has 3 belts.
Experience.
No way.
Experience.
No, sir.
He got the experience.
No,
when you win 3 belts, I'm talking about 1 belt after a belt after a belt. That's experience.
Hey, y'all, we do this all day. Off live, we had these conversations. We do this all day long, back and forth of what he thinks and what I think.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree.
We have debates all day long.
Hey, listen. Ain't nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree. That's why we have to do this live. Spence is a genuine unified champ. That's right, Spider Moose. Tell her what time it is, champ.
That don't give him the favor over Terrence Crawford just because he got 3 belts.
Oh, no.
Floyd said belts don't mean nothing. They collect dust.
Yeah, and checks. On top of checks. If he wouldn't have got a belt, he never collected a check.
So I would never give a guy an advantage because he got more belts than another guy. Jermell Charlo was better than Castano. He's a better overall fighter than Castano is. Not because he got 3 belts. He's just a better overall fighter. I'm not going to say he's better than Castano because he got 3 and Castano got 1. No, he's a better overall fighter. That's why he has the advantage over Castano. Not because he got 3 belts, in my opinion.
Well, listen, if you got 4 belts, you fought for 4 belts, and I fought for 1 belt, and I got 1 belt, that's going to qualify the person with the 4 belts to be the better fighter.
Okay, so
in your career,
go ahead.
In your career, if you end up winning more belts than me, I don't be considered a better fighter than you.
Let's just say, let's say Devin Haney and Tank. Let's just say, well, Devin Haney is undisputed. So does that make him a better fighter than Tank? Because he's undisputed?
Different situation.
Absolutely not.
Okay, I agree with you on that one. But you gotta remember, it's all about the style. It's all about who you fighting.
We talking about a better fighter.
Listen.
Talk to me.
Devin Haney fought somebody who beat somebody who beat somebody. He beat Kambosos, beat Teofimo Lopez. I don't think Teofimo Lopez got up for that fight. Now, no, don't mean that Devin Haney is a better fighter than Gervonta Davis. But he is looked at, or should be looked at, as the man, the A side, if they was to fight each other, because he's bringing more to the table.
No, you said that he's the better fighter. You said he has the advantage in the fight to win the fight because he has more belts.
Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is different than Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis, because they different fighters.
No. Now you changing the subject.
No, they different fighters. So
I asked you. You doubled down on me. I said, so Errol Spence having 3 belts make him the favorite in the fight. You said yes.
Absolutely.
So I gave you a different example. Okay, Devin Haney and Tank. Just because Devin Haney has 4 belts, does that mean he has the advantage going into the fight against Tank? It's the same scenario. Yes, it is.
It's a different situation because we
the
talking
same
about
scenario.
different fighters.
Nah.
The man.
Okay. Let me rephrase my question. Let me ask you this. Okay, on the outskirt, if a fighter has 4 belts and another fighter don't, does that give him the advantage in the fight?
Absolutely.
Okay, see, you saying the same thing. So you saying the same thing.
But it depends on the person.
I'm talking about anybody.
It got to be you can't talk about anybody.
Okay, I'm asking
if Muhammad Ali has 4 belts and we don't know who Muhammad Ali is, and he's fighting against somebody else who has 2 belts and we don't know who he is, the guy with the 4 belts is the favorite. In this situation,
in any situation,
we both know both these guys. We know that Errol Spence has fought the better competition. All the top welterweights are with PBC. Terrence Crawford has been struggling to get a meaningful fight at welterweight. The guys that he beat with a bigger name was Gamboa at 135 pounds, 130 pounds. I'm saying the way that Errol Spence got his belts because he has experience. I'm looking at both guys and what they got and how they got in the situation they in. They different than Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis won belts on top of belts on top of belts. He lost one of his belts on the scale. Gervonta Davis hasn't really fought anybody, but he has more experience. It's different strokes for different folks. They different fighters, all of them.
Spider Moose. He just said that if a fighter got 3 belts, the reason why I use Haney and Tank, because he just said any fighter, if he got 3 belts and somebody else has 1, he's the favorite going into the fight to win the fight. That's why I use the Haney Tank situation, because he said anybody. Just because a guy got 3 belts and another guy got 1 belt does not make that guy with 3 belts the favorite to beat the guy with 1 belt. Let's just say let's say if Canelo had 3 belts when he fought Floyd, does that make him be the favorite over Floyd? And let's say we didn't know Floyd.
Now,
it doesn't. My point is, just because a guy got 3 belts does not make him the favorite to beat another guy.
Spider Moose just said Spence beat 3 champs for his belts. That makes him the favorite.
That's what I'm addressing. That's what I'm addressing.
Good.
I'm talking about. See, you're saying 2 different things. You just said because Spence. We're not talking about who Spence beat for the titles. That wasn't the argument. You just said just because a fighter got 3 belts, he's the favorite to win against a fighter with 1 belt. You didn't say Spence because Spence beat 3 champions. You just said he get the favor over Terrence Crawford because he has 3 belts. How does that give him to be the favorite over Terrence Crawford just because he got 3 belts?
So
I would never give a fighter the favor of another fighter just because how many belts he has.
Okay, so basically, if Terrence Crawford didn't have no belts and Errol Spence had all the belts, would you say Terrence Crawford was a better fighter than Errol Spence?
If he's a better fighter than Errol Spence, he's a better fighter than Errol Spence. It doesn't matter. Listen, you cannot just hear. You ain't even heard my whole point.
Okay, I'm listening.
Hear me out.
Let's go.
Just because a fighter, Errol Spence has 3 belts, does not mean. And Terrence Crawford has 0 belts, does not mean he's the better fighter than Terrence Crawford.
I disagree.
How? Because a guy got a belt. You cannot say that because Terrence Crawford didn't have the opportunity to fight for those belts, to win those belts too. So how is he just a better fighter?
Well, guess what?
Terrence Crawford was undisputed at 140. So how can you clearly say Errol Spence the better fighter? He had all the belts at 140.
140.
He won. My point is he was a undisputed champion too. So you cannot give a fighter the advantage because they got more belts. Well, that's just like if Floyd fought a fighter, undisputed champion, Floyd about to fight him. Is he going to be the favorite over Floyd because he got 4 belts? Absolutely not.
If it's Errol Spence, he will.
Floyd in his time?
Yes, Floyd in his prime.
Errol in his prime, Floyd in his prime. People will pick Errol Spence over Floyd Mayweather when they're both in their prime.
Yes.
People going to give Errol Spence the favor over Floyd because he got 4 belts.
Yes.
So those opponents that Errol beat, you're telling me that Floyd couldn't beat him too?
They're gonna give Errol Spence the advantage because of what they saw or what they heard in sparring. Errol Spence whooped that trick. He gave it to Floyd Mayweather. And that's why Floyd, even when he was fighting, at the time that Errol Spence was fighting, he never fought him.
Did he spar Errol Spence in his prime?
I'm quite sure he did.
No. What's considered, chat, and this is a question for chat too. What's considered a Floyd Mayweather prime? What years was Floyd in his prime? What years did Floyd fight when he was a prime Floyd?
And when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. Not Money Mayweather, Pretty Boy.
So you telling me Errol Spence can beat Pretty Boy?
Absolutely. To be honest with you, I can't really say because Pretty Boy was too little. When he was Pretty Boy, he was fighting at 130, 135. So they would have never fought because Errol was fighting at 147.
Stylistically, let's talk about styles. Forget the weight, the advantages. Styles. Can Errol Spence's style beat Pretty Boy Floyd and they both in their primes?
At 147? Yes.
It doesn't matter what weight.
Yes, 147, yes. You got to remember, styles make fights. Is Errol Spence a better fighter than Castillo? Yes, and Castillo beat Floyd Mayweather. You can say he lost all you want to, but everybody that got eyes saw who won that fight.
So just because Castillo won doesn't mean Errol can beat him.
Yeah, he can.
Style makes fights.
Exactly.